So now we've got John jumping in. Let's add you to here, John. John, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thanks for jumping on, John. So we've got John from Jane Street. I'll be removing myself from the spotlight, and you can sort of go ahead for the next 20 minutes.
Sure. Thanks very much,
Thank you.
Jeremy. Cool. So I suppose I finished my PhD in maths at Melbourne University about 4 years ago now. And for the last 3.5 years, I've been working as a trader at Jane Street on the fixed income desk. So today I'm going to tell you a bit about Jane Street, about our application process for the internship. So Jane Street is a team of over 1,600 people working in New York, London, Hong Kong, Amsterdam, and we now have a very small office in Singapore. I work in the Hong Kong office, which is sort of just over 200 people now. And I think one thing that sort of sets us apart as a company is that we have a very low turnover rate compared to some of our peers. So like single digit only most of the time. It's very uncommon for people to sort of like leave the firm. I suppose if you have any sort of experience or exposure to finance, it's maybe easier to describe what we're not. So we're not a bank, we're not a hedge fund, although we do have some elements that are similar to a hedge fund. We're not a high frequency trading firm or HFT, although again, we have some elements that are a bit similar to that. What we are is a global proprietary quantitative technology driven trading firm. So what does that mean? Well, proprietary means that instead of investing other people's money, we are investing our own money. And so we think very carefully and deeply about the risk consequences of that. It also gives us some sort of like flexibility and freedom to pursue certain trades. Like the people whose money we're investing are people who understand trading and understand what we're doing. We're quantitative, so we don't often come up with trades that are based off sort of macroeconomic views. Most of the trades that we come up with are built from processing data numerically and understanding that data rather than so a macroeconomic view of the world. And tech is extremely important to us. So we do a very large number of trades, and we need to leverage this technology to sort of keep up with the trades we want to do. And we're a trading firm, so we connect to hundreds of trading venues globally and enter into agreements to trade. So buy or sell all kinds of financial instruments. Our specific business is as a market maker. So what that means is that we are willing to both buy and sell many different financial contracts at sort of all times. There are some people in the world who have like a natural need to trade some contract. So there are many people that might want to, I don't know, invest in equities for their retirement or something. And we are the people that would be willing to sell to them. When they want to sell, we would also be the people that are willing to buy from them. A little bit about our culture. So our culture is extremely collaborative. We're constantly questioning each other's ideas, and we're meritocratic. So I think anyone who has started should feel very free to question the ideas of someone who's been at the firm for many years. And I think, someone who's just started can still have a great trading idea, and that's really important. And that that person should be rewarded for that, and that person should be like listened to when explaining their ideas. We're always learning. We have a sort of big focus on education, asking, learning from other desks that you might. So someone who might trade some slightly different product, you can learn a lot from them by trying to understand their trading, trying to bring some of those ideas back to your trading. We care a lot about the ethics of trading, and we're driven by the long-term success of the firm, not just how much money can we make next year or the year after. We care about building the firm for the long term. So a little bit about our sort of dev roles. We sort of think of ourselves as a tech firm that trades. Tech is a very large and important part of the company. The devs have a sort of a bit of a blurred line between what is a developer and who is a developer and who is a trader. Some devs work very closely with the trading desks. Some traders write a lot of code and build a lot of tools. And some people even like cross over between these roles completely. Sorry, it looks like we have a question. Yes, I suppose we are open to international students. We recruit from many different countries, I suppose, like anywhere in Asia, we'd be happy to recruit from. So I suppose the devs work on a large variety of roles. They sort of range from building out trading systems to working on sort of like core services and compilers. So it's a very broad range. I suppose I'm a trader rather than a dev, so I can't go into quite as much detail there, but I think there's like a very different range of roles there. The types of people we're looking for in a dev role are, smart people with strong programming ability in terms of algorithms and design. We're not looking for any specific programming skills, programming languages that you might know prior to joining the company. We feel very comfortable in terms of developing that, providing that education ourselves and developing people ourselves to understand, OCaml, which is the coding language we use mostly internally. So we don't expect any OCaml knowledge to start off with. And we certainly don't expect any finance knowledge or anything like that. That's definitely something that can also be taught when someone joins. So I suppose what does a trader do? What's the sort of like day-to-day of my role as a trader? So we have some real-time functions. We execute some trades. There are some trades that require more human intervention than others. Sometimes a particularly large trade might have a human thinking about it, or there are just some markets that are kind of a bit old-fashioned and cumbersome, and someone sort of needs to interact with them a bit more. And the other thing that we're mostly doing in real time is sort of running and monitoring systems, adapting to changes in the market, thinking about the risk we're taking on, those sorts of things. And then we have some more sort of like systematic functions that we do over time. We build models, we do research into new trades, we do research into improving the parameterization we have for our existing trades. And we write code. Not everyone writes code. I suppose it depends. Some traders enjoy writing code. Some traders don't really enjoy writing code. So there's obviously a big spectrum. But we write code that might help us understand what the fair value of a product is, or might make us just be more efficient at doing our jobs. Right? Like if you can make everyone do 1%, like capable of getting 1% more work done during the day, then that's extremely valuable when you've got, when you're leveraging that through a lot of traders. And all the while we're thinking deeply about the risk. Traders feel responsible for the risk management of the trades they're running right from the beginning. It's sort of very important to us that, even a brand new trader is like understanding and thinking about these ideas. In particular, Jane Street is a big market player in exchange traded funds, or ETFs. I work on the fixed income desk, and so a big part of what I do every day is trade fixed income ETFs. So what are ETFs? Exchange traded funds. So they're a fund that trade like an equity on an exchange. But instead of being a single company, like, I don't know, BHP or something, they own a bunch of stuff. So the simplest example of this is probably an ETF that owns all of the stocks in the ASX 200. And this is convenient because instead of someone who wants to invest their savings or whatever, going and buying all of the stocks individually, they can invest in the index all at once. So that's like a sort of simple example of why someone might trade an ETF. I suppose for fixed income, that might be an example of that might be an exchange traded fund that holds government debt from many different governments around the world. And it would be like really inconvenient for a random person in Australia to go and trade German bonds and US treasuries at like different times of the night and whatnot. It's much more practical that someone would just buy a fund that owns these bonds. So in the day-to-day, we have automated trading systems that react without human intervention to most market events. But traders who like understand these products more deeply can react to market events and add value by making modifications to these trading systems in real time. We also just do some level of like responding to large quotes. Sometimes people will like ask for a quote directly, and converting ETFs between the stuff and the ETF as well. We also trade single stocks purely algorithmically. So some people who work on that desk, it's perhaps a bit more research driven. They do a lot of like data cleaning, feature extraction, model building, simulation, and then programming the actual strategy. And an important part of that is setting up good monitoring for any unexpected behavior or risk considerations. So the types of people that we're looking for as traders are people with strong quantitative and/or sort of technology skills. I think these people come from a very broad background. A lot of traders come from a computer science background, a maths background, many other fields of science like chemistry, physics, engineering, data science, economics or finance. It's actuarial studies. It's a very broad range. There's no real skill. There's no real class that you can take at university that directly corresponds to trading. So, any course that relates to logical reasoning probably has the kinds of people that we'd be interested in as traders. Many of the people that join our firm have competed in maths and programming competitions. That's like a fairly common background. And many of us are naturally attracted to solving puzzles and playing games. But yeah, I feel like it comes from the people we are looking for come from a very broad background. So the internship, I suppose the goal of the internship is to find a mutual fit between you and Jane Street. We want you to see what it's like working with us. We want to see what it's like for us to work with you. We aim to give you a realistic sense of what a full-time role with Jane Street would be like, what it's like to work on the same problems that we work on from day to day, the same research we would be doing. It's typically 10 to 12 weeks in length, but can be slightly shorter to fit school schedules if needed. And we cover travel to and from Hong Kong, and we offer arranged accommodation options as well. We have 2 different internships for the Hong Kong office. One is from May to September, and the other one is from December to February. I grew up in Australia. I did the internship from December to February. I think that is the most common for Australian students, just because that's like what lines up with universities best. But if you are particularly keen to do the May to September internship, you just need to reach out to our recruiting team and let them know. We're sort of taking applications for the December to February internship program now, and we're hiring full-timers sort of year-round. I'm going to quickly go through some of the questions in chat. I feel like I have fallen a bit behind on this, but yeah, we'll go through a few questions now. Someone asked if we hire data scientists. Yes, definitely. Economics, mathematics, engineering, IT, those are all fine. There's definitely no actual restriction on what background someone has. If you're sort of interested in solving puzzles and sort of good at math, that's what we're looking for, rather than a particular university course. Someone asked if the work can get stressful. I suppose it depends. I don't find it particularly stressful. There are some people that maybe find it more stressful. I think probably the people who enjoy trading and want to work in trading find it very enjoyable and not quite as stressful. When you start, you sort of make mistakes, but you probably you kind of get used to the fact that everyone makes mistakes as well. So I think it is probably less stressful than people think it is. Do we just trade ETFs? I suppose we're kind of somewhat known for trading ETFs, but like Brian says, yes, we do trade commodities, we trade crypto, we trade equities, we trade individual bonds, we trade a lot of different things. I think realistically, if the firm saw a good opportunity to trade a particular product, like saw an opening in the market that we thought we could, improve the market by getting involved in, I think we would sort of be happy to trade those whatever that product happened to be as well. Can you have a personal stock portfolio while working for the company? That is a very specific question. I think most companies in finance have a system where you have to sort of declare that you would like to do a trade and you can't trade. There are certain things that you wouldn't be able to trade, but it's sort of uncommon. I think it's mostly just a matter of saying, like, putting in your request to do a trade and then like getting it approved. I think this is like a fairly generic thing across the financial industry. The next time you can apply for an internship is right now. We are accepting applications for our internship from December to February. We are also just, I suppose, accepting people to apply for full-time year-round. There isn't really a particular deadline for when the internship applications open or close. It's possible there is actually a deadline. There used to not be a deadline, but okay, it's possible that the one that has just closed was for the mid-year internship. I'm not sure. I think the end-of-year internship should be accepting applications. What was I going to say there? Yeah, I think we are accepting applications for the end of year. And I suppose it's probably worth mentioning, there isn't like necessarily like a set number of internship slots or a set number of people we're trying to hire full time. Like, we're looking for smart people. If we find smart people that we think would be good traders, we'd like them to be in our internship. If the interns are great, we would we'd want to hire them. There's no particular like allocation slots of people. So if we find a great person, we're gonna want them in our internship. Do we have working from home opportunity? I feel like there has been a fair bit more flexibility with working from home based on COVID. I am currently, I don't know if you can see my blurry background, but it is not an office building. I am currently working from home. So yeah, I think that is common. There are some sort of like complications around working from home, working from different countries, but we've tried to be a bit more flexible than we used to be. There's obviously downsides to that. We are like extremely collaborative. We work very closely as a team. So if we can be in a group together, in an office together, that is extremely valuable, and we would probably prefer that. Like, almost all traders would prefer that, but some people do work from home at the moment. If someone doesn't have much of a background at coding, that is perfectly fine for you to join the internship, as long as you are a smart person and you enjoy solving problems. I have approximately no background in coding, and to be honest, I learned coding through Jane Street. I don't actually do that much coding anymore. I did a lot more when I started, but different people have different strengths, and we're fully aware of that.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, John. That was a really informative session, and thank you so much for going through all of those questions in such a really succinct manner. You just like powered through those. That was impressive. Thank you so much. Just want to thank you on behalf of all the attendees today for giving us a really good insight into Jane Street. I feel like it's taken the veil off in some way, shape, or form, which has been really good. So thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks very much. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, John.